Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Together, we come 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 together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. We come together.
I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I choose joy, I choose peace, I choose goodness surrounding me. I choose love in every breath I breathe. I choose God in everything. I choose happiness, I choose freedom. I choose the beauty that lives in me. I choose perfection in what life brings. I choose God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love's in every breath I breathe. I know God's in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection's in what life brings. I know God's in everything. namaste, namaste, yeah, namaste, yeah, namaste, 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 namaste. Everybody sing namaste, 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 namaste. Shine the light into the world. Shine the light into the world. Shine the light into the world. Let it shine. It is time for one and all to live the dream, answer the call. There is enough love in your heart to change the world. Change the world. Shine the light to the world.
Start a love train, love train. Next stop that we make will be England. Tell all the folks in Russia and China too. Don't you know that it's time to get on board and let this train keep on riding, riding on through. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. All of your brothers over in Africa. Tell all the folks in Egypt and Israel too. Please don't miss this train at the station. Sing it. If you miss it, I feel sorry, sorry for you. Well, people all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. Let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world, join hands, start a love train, love train. People all over the world. All right, so we're going to start a meet and greet. And we pick up the music again.
because this is fun, this soft part of it. So, all right, to make it festive, everybody get a hug in, and happy Sunday.
Hello, good morning. We'll figure it out. There's lots of hugs today. That's great.
Yay!
Okay, I'm not sure, do we have anybody that's here for the first time today? Please raise your hand. No, nobody? Okay, we won't embarrass you too bad if you're, we just wanted to let you, first of all, say welcome and let you know that we have a visitor's packet you can pick up in our Welcome Center if you would like, on your way out, or we can, if you raise your hand, we'll bring one to you. And inside you have a lot of different information about what Unity is here and around the world and all the wonderful things we do. And there's an information card attached to it, and you can just fill out your contact information and then get on our newsletter and see all the things that we have going on all over the place. And speaking of wonderful things, we've got some kids with us today.
Yay!
You want to come up? It's fun, seriously. No? No? Okay, we've got a couple more in the back, but they're a little shy. That's it. Just prefer to stay seated. That's great. Okay, so we're going to send this children's blessing out to these kids and all the kids that we know and around the world, especially this time of year. Let them know that we're thinking about them. Just like they're thinking about Santa, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you can say with me. Children of light,
we bless you. We see you loved, guided, and protected by God's presence.
And New Orleans style.
We love you hard, hard, hard. We swear to God.
Have Steve come up and do the daily word with us.
So I'm supposed to ask everyone to please take this time to silence your cell phones. Did everyone remember to do that? I always remember to do that. I just want y'all to know that. I always remember. But anyway, it is time for the daily word. We normally open with this wonderful booklet, which now is digital too. But it is a wonderful way to start the day. They're on sale in the bookstore, for a plug there. But you can really, I'm telling you, I read this today, and it's one of, you know how Jack talks about just when it's really just a good day? And when I read this, just the first affirmation, my day is, it was just a good day. It's just a good day. Now, you know, like he says, he figures out, I slept late yesterday, so that probably had something to do with it. But anyway, it's just like, it's a good feeling. I'm very, very happy to be here, and I'm very, very happy that all y'all are here too. Y'all really make Unity a wonderful place. And I love coming here on Sunday. I would love for anybody who's watching to come and join in with the fellowship. So today's daily word, love, third Sunday in Advent, Sunday, December 16th, 2018. I am divine love in expression. I am creative spiritual being, and the substance with which I create is divine love. This includes the loving feelings I may experience as my day unfolds. These are important elements, but divine love exists deeper than feelings, at the very core of my being. The Trappist monk and author Thomas Merton described love as an intensification of life. My life today is deepened and strengthened by the creative intensity I bring to every choice. It is only by allowing the substance of love to shape my day that I can intensify my life experience and be a blessing to others. I am divine love in expression, and my heart is open to every opportunity the day will bring to share that love with others. Today's daily word is taken from a scripture in Colossians 3:14. Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony.
We would like to take a moment to honor the diversity of all people and all religions, and recognize that the Spirit is in all and all are divine. At this time, we symbolically honor the sacredness of all spiritual paths, realizing that there are many common threads throughout many religions and many life paths. Let us open our hearts and minds to accept the uniqueness of all. Native American practice is the path of honoring the earth and all beings. Shintoism is the path sensitive to nature's spiritual forces, honoring sacred spirits of ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Sufism is the path of daily communion with God. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Taoism is the path of meditation and contemplation, focusing on the inner harmonies of the universe. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Buddhism is the path of compassion, detachment, and mindfulness. Paganism and Wicca both see the sacred in nature as well as the individual soul, and seek understanding of the evolution and mystery of the universe. Unity is the path of empowerment and change through our conscious co-creation with Spirit. We light our Christ candle as a symbol of the Christ consciousness that illuminates and joins us all. Jack is not able to be with us today. Hopefully he's watching, and he's enjoying some time at the beach. So we have a wonderful speaker, Miss Harriet Stafford.
so glad to be here today. It's always a pleasure. And it's very meaningful because I always see faces I've known for a long time. They're still speaking to me. That's a plus. So it's really good. But right now I invite you to just rest. We're going to be resting from the labors of the holidays and the tension of the holidays. Even though the holidays are wonderful, we do wind ourselves up a little bit. So let's take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath and release and just say, I relax, I let go, and I enjoy this day. As Steve read that wonderful daily word, we are here to be in joy and in peace. So we recognize that. As we close our physical eyes, and we rest. We rest from our labors. We rest from the things that we think we need to do later this afternoon or tomorrow or the rest of the week. And right now we just treat ourselves to peace. Let everything fall away except our divine purpose, which is to be here in mind, in body, and in spirit. Recognizing our oneness with all life, all love and all peace. We give thanks for our oneness with abundance and wholeness. We give thanks for divine guidance and direction. We give thanks that we are wholly loved by Spirit, wholly, unconditionally held in the heart and mind of Spirit, now and forever. And we let go of fear or tension about anything in our lives. Resentment, guilt, sadness, grief. Even what goes on in the world today, some things that seem beyond our control, we can let go. We can be in this moment, consciously and deliberately allowing ourselves to be loved and cherished by the one presence and the one power that is all, is in all and through all, and out of which we are expressed. So we're breathing in, we're breathing out. We're alive with the life of Spirit. We relax into the divine embrace and know that everything that concerns us is in divine order, and everything happens right on time. We allow ourselves to be carried along in that divine order, knowing that Spirit has our highest and best interest at heart, provides us with every good thing in abundance, goes before us, making our way easy and safe, brings us into the place of peace and joy. Every time we close our eyes and rest, we give thanks for the peace of Spirit, and right at the very center of our being. We give thanks that all is well. And we radiate this blessing of wellness, allness, peace, joy, abundance, and freedom directly from our hearts out into the community. It radiates from this church. It radiates into the parking lot and into the stores and the restaurants and the shops and the service stations and the people driving by on Veterans Highway and up and down the streets. We bless this world with our own mighty loving power and know that we are one. And no one is left out. No one is denied His presence. We listen to the quiet music. We listen to ourselves breathing. We feel the presence of Spirit within and around us, for there is but one presence. It is Spirit. It is within us and all around us, filling us, providing everything for us, protecting us, giving us life. And we rest in this calmness, in this certainty of love and peace. Bringing all of our attention back as it wanders, which it will. And bring it back lovingly and gently to this place, this beautiful church filled with all these beautiful souls. And give thanks that everyone is safe and secure and blessed by the one and only power and presence, in whom and in which we live and move and have our life and our being. We are one with the one. We bring ourselves back into this lovely church. We are refreshed and renewed, and we release and come back and give thanks that we are here in this present moment, filled with joy and peace, that we are the beloved of Spirit, and we are grateful as we say Amen. 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 So how's everybody doing? Everybody back? Sometimes people don't want to come back. Okay. That's okay. This is a good place to be too. And today I'm very privileged to be here. I really am. And I'm continuing a sort of a discussion that I've had with myself and with others. I serve a little group over in, when I say little, it's pretty small, but it's big in heart, small in numbers, in Gulfport, second Sunday gathering. And my friend Dottie, who is one of the facilitators of the group, when we were talking about what subject matter and so forth for our talk on the second Sunday, she asked, well, what about talking about Christmas miracles? Okay. She said, what about that? I thought, well, okay, I'll think about that. Because a lot of people associate Christmas and miracles together and think of it as a miraculous time of the year. A lot of people associate it with the birth of Jesus, whenever that really happened, is anybody's guess. But it's a magical time of the year. And a lot of people expect something special and miraculous to happen. But it's interesting when I started I think about miracles all the time, because we all have friends who've had issues, and we've prayed for them, and they've prayed for us, and we pray for others, and we call Silent Unity, we go online and we go to Centers for Spiritual Living or whoever. We want to hold us in prayer and affirm our good. And sometimes we expect something that comes in a blaze of glory, a miracle, and we expect it to be somewhat unusual and supernatural. That's what most people think. Miracles are something that they're conjured up out of the ethers or brought into being because somebody has special powers. But as I've studied the idea of miracles, one of the things that I keep coming up with is that everybody is a miracle maker. Everybody is a miracle worker.
That's right.
Wonders and miracles. We read about those all the time. And so, as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about on the second Sunday, I have been absorbed in this thinking about miracles. So I thought I would talk a little bit about it again today and see what you all think about miracles. And something that I had printed off the internet the longest time ago, and then I couldn't find it, of course, and I couldn't find it on the internet. And I was looking through my stack of 1,000,000 things that I keep to read, and I said, I'm going to find this. Spirit knows where it is, and by golly, there it was. And it was a little, I don't even know, it's not dated. All I know is it's about miracles. And I thought, this is what I was looking for, because it's a take by Charles Fillmore, who of course was one of the founders of Unity, Myrtle Fillmore, Ernest Holmes. What is a miracle? And this is Charles Fillmore in his book, The Revealing Word. It says, according to Webster, A miracle is an event or effect in the physical world beyond or out of the ordinary course of things, deviating from the known laws of nature or transcending our knowledge of these laws. Well, that's what we all think, right? It's outside of the norm. It's outside, and maybe Jesus was the only one that worked miracles. He's the one we're told about all the time. He's the one, and had the power, and he could do this and do that. Well, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore and Ernest Holmes delved into the ideas behind Jesus' miracles, Jesus' manifestations, if you will. And so Charles goes on to say, in reality, miracles are events that take place as a result of the operation of a higher unknown law. All true action is governed by law. So we talk about law all the time in Unity and metaphysics. We say there are laws in the universe. We talk about the law of mind and action, that things that we say, we must be careful about what we believe when we say something, because the law of mind and action is going to take that up and do something. So we shouldn't be surprised when something we would love to have happen happens, or when something we are moaning and groaning about happens, because we have actually set it into motion by our power. We don't think of ourselves as being powerful enough to do miracles, because that's what we've been told for eons of time. But what if we are? What if we subscribe to the laws of the universe, can do miracles just like Jesus did, or anybody else that could be called a miracle maker? What if we could do that? And Charles says, nothing just happens. And of course, a lot of times you go, oh, poof, there's a miracle. In fact, it was interesting, Dottie, my friend from the Gulfport church, well, she had a cohort for a while. Her name was Emma Jane Rose. And Emma Jane developed cancer about 2.5, 3 years ago. And it was just metastatic cancer. She had a terrible time, and she passed in January of this year. And Dottie, when we were having a conversation, she said, why didn't Emma Jane get her miracle? Why wasn't she healed? Why wasn't she allowed to live? And I thought about it. I thought, well, that's the kind of miracle we expect. We expect a specific thing oftentimes to happen. It may not happen, but we think that would be the miracle. That would be the healing, or the bus comes along right at the right time when it starts to rain, or, we find the parking lot and the parking space, or we find the money to fill the parking meter. Those are happenings. And I just started thinking about that, and I said, well, Dottie, maybe a miracle for Emma Jane was not that. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was another type of healing. Because she had had a lot of issues in her life. Emotional type. Her father died when she was young. Her mother died when she was young. She had worked hard, and she had lost a bunch of things in Katrina, because, in the Gulfport area, they had tremendous damage. She had a terrible time, for whatever reason, with people at work. Every time when I went over there, there was something else going on that she was having an issue with. And so that's why I thought, well, maybe something else in her was healed. Maybe an emotional issue was healed. Maybe a longing for something was healed. Maybe, I don't know. I know that friends and family came out of the woodwork to help her as she was going through this. And I remember going to see her. She was in a nursing home. It was probably a week or two before she passed on. And Dottie and her husband, Tim, were in there with her little iPod and putting music on and little things for her to listen to. And she was just grooving, and she's in the bed and she's just, you can just tell she's just immersed in love and feeling surrounded by love. So to me, a miracle is that specialness of something happening by our faith in whatever that might be. And for all we know, Emma Jane didn't specifically want to be saved from her cancer. You just don't know. Maybe she wanted to be at peace about something else, and that so-called miracle, if you will, that natural occurrence came into her life. So we need a broader look at miracles. And Charles says, in Jesus Christ Heals, there are no miracles in science. Jesus did no miracles. And people just faint when you hear that. Okay. All his marvelous works were done under laws that we may learn and use as he did. So it's a universal law, universal principle that when we apply, works just as well for us. But we have to figure out where we're going to place our faith. We say this all the time in Unity. Where do we put our faith? Because faith in us works through us, and something happens as a result of where we place our faith. It could be in something bad, if you will, or something negative that we're afraid of. We just think about it all the time. We ruminate on it. We think, we picture it. We know, the boom's going to fall, or we're going to lose our job, or we're going to fall down and hurt ourselves, or, a myriad of different things that we can imagine, the worst case scenario. But for most of us, we don't really step into the best case scenario. We just don't. And one explanation that I've heard from Mark Waldman said that our primitive brain, we used to have this idea about survival. Our physical self wants to survive, so it's going to just keep on keeping us in fear and sort of that flight. Got to get out of here quick. Got to go somewhere. Be safe. But what if we're more than that? Which people that study neuroscience and people that study the relationship of our faith and what happens in our brains and in our bodies, they come up with this idea that where we place our faith has a lot to do with what goes on in our lives, like maybe everything. And that was the teachings of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore and the teachings of the metaphysical teachers. Let us clearly understand that a miracle is not a violation of the laws of nature, nor was any such claim ever made by those who performed miracles. Now, what did Jesus say? He didn't say, okay, y'all, forget it. I'm the only one that can do this. I mean, we think it's recorded that it was, these things that I do, you shall do, and even greater ones. By your faith, it is done. That's a whole different thing from, I'm the only one, and you can't do it. So, do we want to step into that faith of, yes, maybe I do have that power. I can envision all kinds of negative things and those happen. So, what if I envision something good or more favorable? I'll put it that way. Good or bad, it could be relative. It's relative. So if I imagine that I'm going to fall down the steps when I walk out of here, and listen, I've done it, and it hurts no matter how, and it's really fun because your wish came true, so to speak, your dream came true. But what about I walk out, and I feel healthy, and I feel the breeze on my face, and I get in my car, and I go off, and I have a wonderful afternoon, and I find things that I need to find at the store, and I'm happy to help people, and they're happy to help me. What if we do that? What if we wake up in the morning and expect it to be a quote-unquote miraculous day, like Steve was talking about this morning? In fact, one of the things that many of us, anybody that's ever been to a Unity church usually has come across a little card like this, expect a miracle. And on the back, this is from the Uptown Church, so it has dial a prayer, it has their phone number, so you can call up and have a prayer. You can listen to a prayer. But it also has the first four lines of the prayer of protection. So, expect a miracle, expect to be able to state a truth, and expect something good to happen. And I have one, the same kind of card, I have it stuck on my little notebook, and I wrote, under expect a miracle, it's only natural. Because I had to teach myself that this is a natural occurrence based on spiritual law. Whatever we hold to be true for us will materialize. That's the law. So if we want to be a miracle maker, we can actually be miracle makers. And I'm going to read some. This is this neat little book that I found, and we were using it in our meditation group a couple of years ago. And it has this neat little illustration here of a person. Looks like the lady on the ladies' room door, but anyway, It's kind of funny. But this is a really neat thing that she wrote. This is Lynn Woodland, and she teaches classes and does seminars on making miracles, because it's something we make and do. And of course, the word in French is the same word for make and do, so I always think of it that way, and the same in Spanish and Romance languages. A miracle is an event born in unconditional love. A miracle has a healing ripple effect on everyone it touches. So you imagine then you're in the center of the miracle. We have to begin with unconditional love for ourselves, for whatever's going on, and for everybody else around us. And when we step into that love, that vibrates out, it radiates out and touches everyone. Ernest Holmes has a phrase, it touches everything into wholeness. So it is in itself a miracle-making power, an attitude. A miracle is an occurrence that surpasses our expectations and beliefs about what is possible. So we take that step out in faith and we say, nothing is impossible. By my faith it is done. And we all, through the Bible, there is that little idea. Those who have faith in spirit, to them, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible with God. We've read that a million times. But we need to take it to heart if we want to be miracle makers. We have to participate in it. We have to be willing to participate. Miracles include instantaneous manifestations, marvelous coincidences, and impossible healings. So, wherever we place our faith in the overcoming power of spirit within us, and within our friends and loved ones, in our world, in fact. I mean, like, most of us are probably going, well, the world needs a miracle right about now. Well, it can begin within us. It begins with every ounce of faith that we have and where we place that faith, what we do with it, and what we do about it. Miracles are God in action. And how is God in action? Through us, by our thought, by our loving nature, by our kindness, by our givingness, by our willingness to receive. That's the other part. A really big part. We have to be willing to receive what we've asked for, or what we are praying for, if you will, what miracle we expect to have. Miracles are faith made tangible. You can touch it because it's going to come into manifestation. Miracles reshape our definition of reality, don't they ever? Because if we think reality is just what we see here in this room, we are out of touch, because reality is everything. And some of it's invisible. So we have to use our imagining faculty, which is one of our wonderful 12 powers of man. This is right about this time of year, people are talking about that all the time. Miracles dissipate fear, despair, hatred, and pain. Now that's a wonder right there. Because if we can deep six all that stuff, we can be more aware of love and good and peace and joy and abundance and wholeness, because we're not focusing on the negative things which will make a negative miracle. I mean, it sounds like an oxymoron, but that's what it is. It's the same thing. It's just a backwards view, if you will, or a wrong-headed view. Miracles help us to know our oneness with all life. We feel that connection, not only with the Spirit, which is everywhere present, but with everyone and everything. It's all good and all is part of us, and we're part of it. That's how it happens. It's a oneness. It's an exchange of energy. Miracles show us that we are never separate from God. We are inseparable. And that's just a further proof. That's just a visible showing that we're not apart from God. And we can't be. How could that be if we've been taught all these eons of time that we're going to be judged and we're going to be, God's face is going to be turned away from us. We're going to be scorned and scourged and drawn and quartered and all the rest of that stuff. How do we then become, in our own hearts and minds, aware of being inseparable from God? We must do the work within ourselves. We must agree to that feeling, to that understanding. We must be available to it. It's a two-way street. If Spirit's available to us, for us to ask for all this stuff, we have to be available to Spirit in order to receive and to understand. Miracles teach us that love is the only true power there is. A lot of people think fear is powerful, or anger, or resentment. I mean, we see that every day. And what if love is the power? Because Spirit is the one power and Spirit is love. How could it be anything else? If Spirit's not angry at us, what does it matter if somebody else is? It's just going to dissipate all that if we remain in our conscious awareness of our own love. The love we are as an expression of Spirit, and the love we give, the love we receive, the love we have. Miracles lead us to uncontrolled outbreaks of inner peace and joy. So peace is breaking out all over. Don't we like that? We declare peace. We declare joy. By our declaration and our faith in our word, it is done. Just think about everything that we declare on a daily basis. Just think about it. Sometimes it's not too pretty. And I'm not saying I'm absolved from that guilt, so to speak. I have to catch myself a lot because you just get in those habits. We want to get used to being happy. We want to get used to being free. We want to get used to being opulent in our lives. And we want to get used to being well and whole. We want to be in that mindset. We want to get used to it and make a habit of it. That's where we want to be. Because we have all those other habits from eons of time. Well, they haven't done anybody any good. I mean, we can just look and see that. I mean, the evidence is there. Negativity just begets negativity. Well, that's maybe as I don't want to call it a New Year's resolution, but as a new way of thinking as we approach this change of year, change of season, moving into winter, being able to be quiet and still, we can go to a quiet and still place within ourselves and make a change, make a move spiritually into a new life of being habitually happy, peaceful, joyful, abundant, and well. I like it. And miracles arise from uncontrolled outbreaks of inner peace and joy. So they're going to produce more of this good because it's going to lay a foundation for the good. Miracles demonstrate the awesome power we have to change our lives and to change the world around us. So we talk about all the time, the world is changing. Well, we're the world. So if the world is changing for good or ill, we're doing it. That's the power that we have. We have the power to change the world by our faith. Whatever our faith, wherever it's placed, that's what's going to happen. So in this time of year when we are involved in all this hubbub and there's traveling and there's gift giving and there's gift receiving and there's eating and drinking and merrymaking, we can take that feeling of that comradeship and that affection and that fun and that expectation of delight, and that can become the law of our lives. That can become our awareness and say, I am a miracle maker. See, I can make joy happen in my life. I can make abundance happen in my life because I'm allowing abundance to come to me and through me. I can restore my health because I can allow myself to be mentally, spiritually, and physically well by doing everything, thinking, eating, exercising, whatever it is, not to an extreme, but to a balance. It's all about that. A miracle is really an expected occurrence when we know that the power of our thinking and our faith brings it to be, brings it into manifestation. We expect the expected. Whatever we expect to have happen is going to happen. That's the law. So if we go back to our little blue card, or now there's some little white ones at Unity Uptown, and we say, I expect a miracle, well, I'm expecting the good to happen. However, I want to describe it as supernatural or only natural or because I have the power within me to do it. If I say I expect a miracle, I expect good, I expect joy and peace and wholeness, and I'm willing to accept it. I'm willing to think what I need to think. 1,000,000 years ago, when we used to have a little bookstore over here called Golden Leaves, I bought a book, which I still have, and it had to do with the mind. It was like written by nobody kind of thing, and it was some anonymous thing that was written, but it's sort of like, I will think the things that Spirit would have me think and do the things that Spirit would have me do. Well, how am I going to know what that is? Unless I go into that quiet place where Spirit dwells in me and allow myself to learn and to receive and to be guided into being a miracle maker. It's only natural. Thank y'all so much.
Amen.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, Harry. And just like we always say, whenever one person's talking about something and it all kind of works together, I've been listening to this song every day for the past week or so that fits perfectly, I think, with what you were talking about. So I like to play it for everybody. Okay. Thank you.
Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the feast.
and vow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. That a magic trick said anything is here at all. So challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand me down. But I walk it with a reverent care, 'cause everything is holy now. Questioning child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. To hear that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand me down. But I walk it with a reverent care, 'cause everything is holy now. Right. Great song, great selection. Yeah, that's great. So thank you, Harriet. That was really, really rocking. Thank you so much, really. You rocked the house. Totally. We need that. I expect that we will all experience a miracle today. And I feel like I already have. I really do. And by the way, that shawl is just to die for. It really is. It really. She always comes with an accessory that just completes the whole outfit.
Yeah. You expect
so-
it.
It is expected. It is expected after a while. Yes, yes, it is. Okay. Now is truly the favorite part of my service, of this service, our service, and it's time to give. It's the time that we give back. It's the offering, and I never really understood the offering, when I was a kid and everything, I just didn't understand until I was like 38, and believe it or not, it was the first time I was still a kid. Yeah, and it was the first time I was in a Unity church that it was explained to me that in order to receive, you need to give and just not hold on to and expect a miracle, And I have done that, and it is just, we believe at Unity, and that's what I was told up where I was going to. I lived in New York, and that's where I was going to Unity. I found Unity, or it found me, and I started giving, and I started loosening up and giving back where I was spiritually fed, and learned that was really what it's all about. And I'm going to tell y'all, I've been through some times, but I have always come through. Talk about expect a miracle. And so I am very grateful. I am very grateful. So this is the time of that. This is that time that we give back to where we have been spiritually fed. And what we do is we walk up, and physically, you don't have to though. I mean, it's your choice. But to go up here and put your offering in this box right here, and there's an affirmation that's mixed in this beautiful manger scene. By the way, Jack, who is not here, but Jack and Bill did these wonderful Christmas decorations. So we would like to give them a hand. Yes, yes. But anyway, there's affirmations in that little basket on the right side. Please take one when you get it. We also, when you give your offering, and then also when, if you'd like to give digitally, you can, or electronically, you can give. Bill's got the machine to do that with, and the power, and Sue's back there also. Sue's our usher, so if you don't feel like getting up at all, oh, I'm sorry, wrong usher. Sue? No. Ken is our usher. And he's gonna come around and if you'd rather not get up, okay? So anyway, thanks so much. And we're gonna sing, I think we're gonna sing Grateful. Why not? That kind of fits, right? I think we're gonna put the words up too. Are we? There you go. Yeah. Cool. I was right. Grateful, grateful, I am grateful for all that I have, all that I have. I am grateful, I am grateful. Thank you, Jack. That's Jack's voice tonight. Thankful, grateful, I am. so much. And right now I'm going to turn it over to Crystal again, and she's going to make the announcements. It clearly states here that, I think I probably talked too much. Crystal does the announcements. Crystal, you do the announcements. Yes.
Well, we always have a lot of activities going on throughout the week here. However, for the month of December, a couple of things are going to be not happening. We're not going to have the Course in Miracles in December, but we're going to start that up again in January, January 2nd. That is a wonderful course. If anybody's interested, you don't need any experience in it. You just stop by here on Wednesday night after a meditation and meet with a group of people to discuss it at 7 o'clock. And also the Tuesday night class, they're not going to hold that this week, but I think it will start up again after that. Sunday, December the 30th, we're going to have a Burning Bowl service during our 10:30 service, the Sunday service. It says, don't miss this special service of releasing what no longer serves us. It's a wonderful service where you will literally burn away the things you will need to let go of, and liberating. That's wonderful. After that, we're going to, on January 30th, we're going to have our annual town hall meeting right after the service. This is our yearly meeting where we're going to talk about the new board members. We do need some new board members. We only have a few.
January 13th.
13th, yes, I'm sorry. 13th, I might have said 30th. It's the 13th. So we're going to, I think we've talked to a few people about becoming board members. If you have any interest in that, please let us know. We would love to have you. And we'll discuss that more at that meeting. Also, we are continuing to collect donations for the Second Harvest Food Bank. Do we know what we're doing for this month of December?
Holiday food.
Holiday food, wonderful. Yes, so for people that may not have a wonderful holiday meal.
Sweet potatoes.
So while you're out doing your holiday food shopping, grab an extra item or two and bring it by, and we'll deliver that to the Second Harvest Food Bank for the holidays. Also, the Daily Words, we have the new ones available in the bookstore for January and February for $5. You get to have that wonderful inspiration every day. And if you need a copy of today's service, that is also available on DVD. I'm sorry, a CD. They're making CDs. Yeah, for $5. Not a DVD, I hope not. Lunch bunch. Today, is there going to be lunch
We're
bunch?
doing it at Semolina's at Clearview.
Semolina's at Clearview, and that'll be probably immediately after the service. So anybody wants to meet after the service today, we're doing lunch bunch there. Also, while you're doing your holiday shopping, I shop on Amazon. I love Amazon, and I can't stand going to the crowds and fighting the traffic and everything. So I do a lot of my shopping online. If you do any holiday shopping in the next week or so, if you go into Amazon, log on to smile.amazon.com rather than just plain Amazon, put smile first, and it allows you to choose a charity or a nonprofit organization that you'd like to donate a percentage to, and we're listed on there. So it's a way to give a little extra something to us while you're doing your shopping anyway. You just look for the Unity of Metairie, and it'll donate, I think it's 10% or, no, it's small, 5, okay, maybe 2%. It's a small percentage, but it does, if you buy a lot for holidays, you know, every little bit helps, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. It just automatically sends us a little bit of that money. I believe that is it. Again, if you're...
Special collection?
I'm sorry?
We're starting a special collection.
Oh, right. Yeah, we've kind of talked, and Jack, if you are watching, close your ears, because it's not for you. But he's not going to hear, okay. We're going to take up, if anybody would like to donate, we have a little special collection kind of going on the side. We're thinking of getting a special Secret Santa gift for somebody special for, in our church, who is not here today. So, if you'd like to donate anything for that gift, you can see Samantha.
I will be collecting the money and giving it to the office at the end of the day. So, you know, if you want us to be anonymous, that's fine. If you want to, well, however you want to do it. There's no limit of what you can have to put in there. If it's $2, it's $2. It'll be going all to the special person that we all love.
Somebody we all love that Santa's going to come and visit later. Okay.
Very well.
I think that'll
that's it for today. We're gonna, oh, Ms. Tony has something.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Last week Jack mentioned these affirmation cards, and he was supposed to put it on Facebook. Somehow it didn't happen, and it may have been because I sent him the wrong information through my camera. So if anybody would like to see, this is another way to help us, because we're going to get a percentage of the cards, and we're asking for a $20 prepay. And I think that we'll get $5 or $6 for every one that we sell. So that's another way to make some money. And they're wonderful affirmations. They're from Tryon. One is about our mastery, and the other one is about the planet and our connection to it, Gaia, and how we love it.
Got it. Nice, thank you. So, Ms. Tony, if you would like to look at those, they're beautiful. So we're gonna all stand and sing All Is Well.
Right.
Our choir.
Let's do it. Stand up.
All is well, life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, life is good, and I am truly blessed. I let light shine, so that everyone can see. I let love divine daily flow through me. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. Help me feel the change, oh, the change we want to see, and let harmony daily flow through me. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, I am truly blessed. I let light shine, so that everyone can see. I let love divine daily flow through me. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. All is well, and life is good, and I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed.
The light
Of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, all right.
Thank you,